Hi guys, and congratulations for making it to the conclusion of the Daddy Film project. I have made this video because this is to go with the online post-test for the Daddy Film project because several students were unable to make it to the review and post-test. The reason I'm doing a review is that, as you know, the filming process took about 7 months, which is a huge accomplishment for you guys. And the information, we were kind of in and out between filming and getting the educational piece. If you recall, we watched things on YouTube. We had experts to come onto the Zoom calls that gave us information as well, including Federal Judge Shanique Maynard, as well as a prosecutor from her office. So yes, we got a lot of great information, but I would like to review to make sure that everyone has their best chance on the post-test. And then the students who were able to attend in person also watched the Daddy Film before they did the post-test. So let's get started. I'm going to go over some information. If I don't touch on something that is on the post-test, then please look up the information yourself by Mr. Google. Feel free to do that. So human trafficking is defined as using force, fraud, or coercion on people to lure them into sexual exploitation. All right. According to the law, anyone under the age of 18 is not capable legally of consenting to a commercial sex act. And when I say commercial sex act, I am not talking about a commercial about sex. A commercial sex act is when something's of value, such as money, drugs, or a place to stay, is given in exchange for a sex act. According to the law, a child or someone under 18 is not capable of legally consenting to something like that. So you need to know that. Let's see. Some red flags or signs that someone may be being trafficked. With that being said, according to our film, our victims are largely held captive, right? But that is not the only scenario for a victim. You could even be going to school with someone who is a victim of child sex trafficking. So some of the signs are their story seems inconsistent or memorized like a script. They may be fearful or nervous, and they try to avoid eye contact. In the trafficking world, eye contact is big. It means a lot. On a regular basis, for example, victims may be told that they cannot look their pimp or someone of what would be considered high authority in their eye. Also is that if they in fact look a different pimp in the eye, then they, in a sense, I think it's called, I forgot what it's called, but they could literally be given to a different pimp and belong to a different harem, as they call it. Just by eye contact. So it's very important there. And then lastly, not lastly, but another sign would be excessive concerns about pleasing a family member, romantic partner, or employer. So yes, it's normal to be maybe concerned that you do the dishes before your parent gets home because they told you to, or that your room is clean so you can go out or whatever that is, or so they're not upset with you. You want to get good grades, but excessive concerns is what it means here. All right, so all of those would be signs or flags. Child sex trafficking has been reported in all 50 United States, including, and also DC and Puerto Rico, all of them. There's not one state in this country that has not reported a case of child sex trafficking. All right, so it is everywhere. It also crosses, it doesn't matter what type of community that you live in. It also crosses social classes. The rich have this problem. It doesn't matter. Low income, also has this problem. Now, there are certain people that are targeted more than others. For example, kids that they may presume to be weak in one way or another. So weak meaning they don't have a good family structure. They are posting things online that shows them to be vulnerable in way of emotions. Foster kids are also targeted because of the thought that they could run away or be missing and no one's really looking for them. So all of those are important. The average age of a child entering human trafficking is age 12 to 14. That is the average age. And the single money-making event for human traffickers in the United States is what? You know this? It is the Super Bowl, right? I think we went over this. Just want to remind you, it's the Super Bowl. All right. Let's talk about real quick spiking a drink, or when someone places a substance in a drink. It's also can be called the date rape drug, things like that. Is it true that you can tell if someone has drugged a drink? It doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be Sprite. And in our movie, it was even water, right? Can you tell by the taste? Can you tell by smelling it? Can you tell by looking at it? If it's clear, like, can you tell? No, you cannot tell. All right. So that's why it's very important that you be mindful of watching your, your drink and wherever you are, especially if you're around people that you don't know. And again, in our film, Adriana was so distracted by her prospects of becoming a famous model that she did not notice that the safety cap on her water bottle it didn't click when she opened it. So we want to be mindful of things like that. All right. Moving along. Ways that traffickers likely recruit. There are many ways: manipulation, brainwashing, luring, catfishing, all of those things. Any type of manipulation they would use. What they don't typically do is ask someone directly to participate in it. That's what they typically don't do. Now, does that mean that never happens? I don't think that means that never happens. There can be scenarios that I can think of to where they may feel comfortable or confident in asking someone that directly, depending on the relationship and depending on the need. If someone is in need of drugs or money, they may agree to it straight up, thinking that they would have more control than they would. But we know with trafficking, all of the money goes to the pimp, not to the victims. As far as trafficking in the United States, numbers 1, 2, and 3 in the country are all around the coast. California's first, Texas is second, and Florida ranks number 3. And we have been in number 3 spot for a number of years. That is not something we're proud of, but it is a fact. Let's talk about the Romeo or lover boy in the trafficking arena, that traffickers use. The Romeo role is where a person gains a victim's trust by the promise of a romantic relationship. So they may buy gifts. It's all a process of grooming just to get their trust. And once they're emotionally attached, emotionally vulnerable, emotionally trusting, then usually they can convince that person to do things and go places, and even to walk right out of their own houses, and running away from danger. Running into danger on their own. So that's very important. Let's see, an Amber Alert. An Amber Alert is used when there is a reasonable belief by law enforcement that a child under the age of 18 has been kidnapped and is in danger. So if a child runs away, an Amber Alert is not done just because someone runs away. It's only if law enforcement has a reasonable belief that that child is in danger or has been kidnapped. Okay. A John in human trafficking is the first name of the person who invented human trafficking. No, that's not true. A John refers to the person who buys sex from a trafficking victim. So it's not someone's name. It is a term. Unfortunately, Johns are prosecuted on a much, much lower rate than traffickers. So traffickers exist because someone is paying for the service. Someone is paying for the ability to rape children, just to be blunt. And they do not get convicted as much because from what I was reading, They can say they didn't know how old the person was. They thought it was a prostitute. They can say that they didn't know the person was being held against their will. So unfortunately, although buyers help to keep the business going, because if no one's buying it, there's no business, right? But the term for someone who is buying is a John. Finally, the profits from commercial sexual exploitation around the globe, so not just the United States, around the globe, the profits are estimated to be about $99 billion. $99 billion around the globe for commercial sexual exploitation. Right now, it is only second in place to drug trafficking, because the thought process is when someone traffics a human, they can keep reusing the same quote unquote product over and over again. Unlike a drug, when that runs out, you've got to go restore, the inventory that was lost. So it's sick, it's twisted, it is a fact. So again, all of this information is so that you can be aware and that you can make others aware. Is definitely not to frighten you or make you afraid. It is to equip you and to, in a sense, make you like an ambassador in the community, at least on this topic. Of course, you also get community service hours for your efforts. An awesome red carpet event that I hope all of you are able to attend. You do get a free ticket, your VIP ticket, and to walk the red carpet as a result of completing this post-test. I appreciate your time and everything that you've done, from the rehearsals to the filming to memorizing your lines, all of your efforts in this way. Getting the props together, if you did that, helping us to set the scene in any way, shape, or form that you've helped. I pray that God blesses you for it. Make sure you get your community service hours document signed as well by me, and turn it into your school, because this is great work that you're doing. Not only are you standing up, and learning this information, but you're taking a platform in front of other people your age, whether young adults or teens, and you're getting the message out there. So we really appreciate you for that. Congratulations again, and I hope to see you on Wednesday. Bye.